So I've always been fascinated by haunted houses. There's just something about them that creeps me out, yet compels me to seek them out. In my hometown, there was an old abandoned house on the hill that everyone said was haunted. Of course, I had to check it out one day. I found this house when I was 13, and I've been obsessed with it ever since. The windows were boarded up, and the front door hung off its hinges. It looked like something from a horror movie. I couldn't go inside because of how dangerous it looked, but I managed to find a hole in the fence and squeezed through so I could get closer. That's when I saw him. He was sitting on the porch swing, and he looked like an old man. I remember thinking how strange it was to see someone in such a rundown place. He didn't seem to notice me at first, but then he turned his head slowly and looked in my direction. I stopped breathing because the way he moved was unnatural. It was like watching a zombie or something. His skin was gray and his eyes were soulless. I don't want to sound dramatic, but it was like looking into the abyss of space and seeing nothing back. Then he stood up and started walking towards me. I ran as fast as I could, tripping over the overgrown grass and branches, scraping my knees and hands. When I finally got away, I ran to my friend's house and hid in his basement until my mom picked me up. Even though the encounter only lasted a few minutes, it terrified me. Fast forward to present day. I'm now a 20-year-old med student and I'm studying for my finals. My school is pretty intense and I'm really stressed out. I haven't slept well and I have bags under my eyes. One night I was studying in my dorm when my friend came back from spring break. She barely even said hi before she went to her room. I didn't think much of it. She can be pretty antisocial sometimes, but then she started blasting music and singing along at the top of her lungs. I was so frustrated. I put in my earbuds and tried to focus on my studies, but it was impossible. I ended up taking a long nap instead. When I woke up, my friend was gone and the music was still blaring. I got up and went to her room to turn it down, but it was locked. I knocked a few times, but she didn't answer, so I just left. A little while later, the music stopped, and I heard what sounded like screams in the hallway. I didn't think much of it. My friend can be pretty wild sometimes. Then I heard banging on the walls, and I started to get scared. It sounded like someone was trying to break through. I ran to the bathroom and locked myself inside. I could hear scratching noises and muffled yelling. Then the lights flickered and went out. I started to panic. What if my friend had brought a guy back and he was trying to break in? What if he was trying to kill her? That's when I heard footsteps in the hallway. They were slow and deliberate, like the old man from the house on the hill. I squeezed my eyes shut and wished I had somewhere else to be. The footsteps stopped outside the bathroom door and I could hear whispering. I'll admit, I was being a chicken with my head cut off. But I couldn't bring myself to leave the bathroom. After what felt like hours, the footsteps started moving away. I unlocked the bathroom door and cautiously made my way to my room. As I walked past my friend's room, I noticed the door was slightly ajar. I pushed it open and screamed at the top of my lungs. I don't remember what I said, but it didn't matter. All that adrenaline made me feel like I could take on the world. When I finally stopped screaming, I noticed something in my friend's bed. At first, I thought it was a blanket, but then it moved. I got closer and realized it was my friend. She was sitting up and she had a crazed look on her face. Then she started to speak. Her voice wasn't like my friend's. It was deeper and raspy, like she hadn't spoken in years. She told me things that made no sense. She kept saying the house on the hill was calling her and she had to go to it. I tried to make her come back with me, but she just kept staring off into space. I was scared she would hurt herself, so I followed her out of the dorm and into the night. I wish I hadn't. We walked onto the grass, and she looked up at the sky and smiled. Then she started running. I called her name, but she didn't stop. She kept running until she was out of sight. I don't know where she went, but I hope she's okay.